Good morning, everybody. I'm Patty Davis with Crooked Tree Creations, and I just wanted to say hello, and I wanted to show you what I'm working on. I actually made something for a friend last week, and I'll show you real quick. It is a red rose wreath, and I made this using the Dollar Tree heart-shaped wire form. Okay. And I'm going to do something similar today, but I realized a couple mistakes that I made making this. So I kind of wanted to do a couple of things differently. Hopefully it works, especially since I'm live showing you. But this is all red roses from Dollar Tree. I'm not going to be using Dollar Tree roses here, but I just kind of wanted to show you real quick what I did. You can see all of this styrofoam. Okay, it's that floral foam. I used that, kind of cut it, and ended up, just sticking it in there using zip ties to get it in there, make sure it stayed. And then I realized, oh goodness, the back of this looks terrible. So I cut out some felt and I'm just going to zip tie it on top. So the back of it actually looks okay. So, but the front of it I think is absolutely gorgeous. I just today I decided to add some leaves to it. You can see a couple, just some green sticking out. I might add a little bit more. Just, I think it looks good. But what I'm going to show you today, same thing. I'm using just a wire heart form from Dollar Tree. Okay. And what I did, I got this big thing of, just those styrofoam blocks. And all you do really, let me take one of these out of here. You cut it almost an inch thick. I'd say about 3/4 of an inch thick. I went, cut it down with a sharp knife into, several pieces and stick it in. What I did here, I started wrapping it with just that burlap ribbon. It's 6 inches wide, because this way the back will look halfway decent. I don't have to glue felt on afterwards, because that was just a little daunting. And I think this will, kind of help too. And with this burlap, the holes are big enough that you can kind of stick the flowers through it. It'll go into the floral foam. It probably will, as long as you use glue, okay, it will glue good enough both to the floral foam and to the ribbon. So I'm going to actually finish putting this ribbon on. I call it ribbon. It's just burlap. Yeah, I guess a burlap ribbon. So I'm going to switch you so you can see what I'm doing. Just because I'm going to be using glue, I have a box down here just so I don't get it on my, I don't want anything like that on my table. So I'm going to switch to, so you're seeing what I am doing. Okay, so I'm actually using burlap ribbon that I had used for Christmas, believe it or not. I put it on my tree, and I just I didn't want to use as much as I had here. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue. Okay, and just kind of get that going. I'm using just an old paintbrush. that I accidentally did not rinse out. So figure it's old, we can use it. So I'm going to just roll it around like this. And I don't want it to overlap too much, just overlap enough where the back will look good. But I want to make sure the flowers will be able to come through. Okay. And let's do this last one here. I'll just cut this. I'm making it nice and tight. Okay. See, in the back, it looks at least decent. It doesn't have to look absolutely gorgeous, but just in case this is going on a, you know, like a glass door or something like that, you kind of want to make sure the back looks fairly decent. That's how I do with all my wreaths. I want to make sure the back looks fairly decent. Okay. And I'm using this paintbrush because, yeah, we get enough burn marks. We don't need any more. So, okay. So there you go. This is going to be the back here. Yeah, it looks pretty decent. Okay. Now I'm going to show you the flowers that I got. I got these ones I got at Walmart. I thought perfect size, they'll work great. What I did not realize when I bought them, take a look here. Well, I actually thought it would work, but you see this here? This is not going to stick down through this ribbon. So what I decided I'm going to do, well, I'll show you with this one that I already, I started taking stuff off of here. I'm going to just pull the flowers off the stem here. I'm going to end up using this greenery. So I'm going to take this off, take these leaves off. And I'm going to take this stem here, take my wire cutters, and cut it. And then I'm going to just cut these in about 1-inch pieces. Because believe it or not, thank goodness, these flowers actually fit back into this stem. I have 4 flowers here. Just taking it off of this here. I'm going to put a little hot glue and stick it in. I did this to several of these already. But I know I'm going to be using an awful lot of these flowers. So I just kind of wanted to show you kind of where I'm at. I'm probably going to not be finished with these by the time I need to do more. I won't be finished with the wreath, but I at least wanted to show you kind of how I'm going to do this, where I'm going with this. I think what I'm going to do first, see these flowers here? They kind of, you know, they're that ranunculus, which is the same thing as this, just a much bigger version. I actually used these in a wreath that I made a friend and took it apart. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put these down the bottom and kind of have these coming around it, along with the greenery and stuff like that. So I'm going to cut this down. I don't know, we're leaving about 1.5 inches. That actually still might be too long. Let's see. No, that's about right. Okay. But I do want to use glue. I'm only using hot glue here because, well, we all know that E6000 tube glue is actually my favorite to use. But I just kind of thought I'm going to, just for the purpose of being a little quicker. And I already had this plugged in to do the, to glue these flowers onto the stems. But what I kind of want to do, I don't want everything to be, how do I say, perfect. I kind of want it to be, I want it to look like it would in nature. Okay. See, this is only about 1 inch long. So I'm not going to space these out perfectly. I want, a couple close together, then one a little further apart, kind of like you would see in nature. So I'm going to do a couple of these. I think I am going to throw a couple roses in here too, just because I think the roses are beautiful. And I'll probably put 2 of these together over here. And I think I only have 1 more of these ranunculus left. So that should work out pretty much perfect. Okay. And I still have this stem is still just a little too long. Okay. See, I like having this greenery, like this other wreath that I showed you in the beginning of my live here. I didn't use greenery when I was first doing it. So I'm liking having the greenery as I'm doing this, just to make sure it kind of looks okay. So I'm going to stick these in here. Trying not to get any hot glue on myself. And just kind of space these apart. Just so they're kind of over top of this to a certain extent, because I don't want to see this burlap through what after I'm done. But I think we'll have enough greenery that it will be just fine. But I kind of want to use a little bit of this pink. See, that's looking okay. And let's see, I want to see how this greenery actually works. Because again, I'm just doing this as, yes, I did the other wreath, this red rose wreath last week, and kind of was goofing around with it a little bit still. But yeah, this is not going to go down inside. This greenery is not going to go through that ribbon. So I think what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to cut this down in half because I don't want it sticking out too far. So you can see I got like 2 pieces here off of that 1 piece. What I'll do, I'll just kind of hot glue that to like the side here. So it sticks out just a little bit. Just enough that you can see it kind of peeking up through, and it'll be glued to the actual flowers themselves. Let's see how these other leaves are. Kind of get that bottom. If I can get this to go through the ribbon, that would be great. No, that's not going to go through the ribbon either, but we'll kind of make sure we got some of this greenery sticking out here and there. But that's basically all I'm going to do. Just keep going around with these pink and like this beautiful peach color. And kind of make sure it sticks good enough. Kind of make sure we don't see any of that burlap. And I definitely want to make sure, you want to make sure too, it stays heart shaped. So we're actually going to be using a lot of these smaller flowers. It probably would be a lot easier on me if I used the tube glue because I'm burning myself already. But and yeah, I think I'm going to use a couple of these white roses just to kind of play off of the ranunculus a little bit. But I think that's going to be really pretty. So, and they're going to stand out a lot too. So I only have 3 of them. Because again, these were ones that I used in a friend's wreath. It was for her wedding shower. I made a big S for her last name. And then she had no place to put it or anything like that. So she told me, please take it back, do something with those flowers. So that's what I'm doing here. Actually made that several years ago. I think, shoot, it's been probably a good 4 years ago, I think. Okay, and one more. Do this one right smack in the middle. But I think all this real pretty pink and peach going through here is going to really look good. And I have 3 bunches of these smaller pink and peach flowers. So the only problem I'm going to have to take the time to take them apart and glue all the stems on. And of course, I didn't realize that until, 15 minutes before I came on here with you guys. So, but I'll do as much as I have done so you can kind of see where I'm going with this, because I think this is going to look beautiful. And the way I see it, nobody wants to watch all of this anyways, over and over and over, just me sticking all these things in here. So I will kind of stop here once I get to a good stopping point. Well, once I get these done anyway. You know, I'm going to leave this one a little bit longer. Oh, and I forgot, I have some really pretty white roses / ranunculus, whatever you want to call them, that I got from Hobby Lobby. They're white, but they have like a little hint of pink right on the edge. So I think I'm going to kind of put these through here too, maybe. We'll see what it looks like as I'm going through with all of these. Real pretty, yeah, the pinks and the peaches. Get these in here. And you got to make sure too you go along the sides, because you don't want anybody to see the burlap through the sides either. So I want to make sure I get that covered up with all these flowers. So let me see what else I can do here. I'll use a little bit of these that came off of those bigger ranunculus flowers, and just kind of get these along here, just kind of glued to the burlap. And then again with these, I'm going to cut them in half. And kind of where you want to, when you cut at the very top of like where these leaves are, so nobody knows that that is actually the middle of a stem. So I'll kind of stick this through here. Let's see. Actually, I want to put something else in here. Kind of help that other one stick up a little bit better because it kind of fell over. I figure the more flowers you have in here, the better the greenery has something to lean up against and will stay up. I might see with these little white ones. We're probably going to have the same problem. Unless, you know what? No. What I'm going to do, I'm going to have these kind of sticking out. Yeah, this will work out just fine. I'm going to have these right here. And they're going to stick out just a little bit further. That way it looks a little bit more, I don't know, natural. So use the other one of these. And then I want to use some more of these that came off of those smaller flowers. And kind of, I want them showing, but at the same point, they don't need to be sticking out too far. Okay, so you can see where I'm going with this. Now, I am still going to, kind of make sure this is covered here. You can still see that burlap. I want to make sure that that's covered. I want any burlap on this side covered, so it looks good all the way around. But I'm just going to keep going, adding all of these flowers. I got, 4 more of these pink and peach ones. And then I've just a few of these little white ones to kind of stick out through. So I might end up adding a little bit more of the greenery. Finding some other kind of greenery to stick through there. And then I'll show you the end result. But I think using this burlap was a good thing. Again, let me switch you back over to my beautiful face, right? So I wanted to show you again this red one that I did, because I didn't use the burlap that was being seen, and I'm going to be putting felt on it. And I just don't like doing that. I kind of think that it'll work out much better using this burlap being wrapped around there. So I'm going to keep going with this, and I will, I'll show you the end result here. I mean, it'll be, once I do actually, once I get finished with this, I'm going to make sure this gets on where everybody can see it, okay? Instead of just the live people. And so whenever I do that, this will be completely finished. You'll see the picture of it in the very beginning, and, with my thumbnail. So, okay. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. Again, my name is Patty Davis. I'm with Crooked Tree Creations. And if you like this video, if you want to see more like this, please subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. And give this a thumbs up too. I really enjoyed doing this for you. Hopefully you like the end result. So I will talk to you later. You have a great rest of the day. Bye.